Hello, you're welcome. Today we'll be learning about daily practices that strengthen your mindset and your vision. So, as a parent, do you want to strengthen your mindset and your vision? As an adult, as an individual, are you working towards overcoming your limiting beliefs? Are you working towards embracing a growth mindset? Yes, if you must get to that point of having a growth mindset, there are daily practices that we can begin to do that can strengthen our mindset and our vision. And that is what we'll be discussing today. You're welcome. My name is Choma Odikulu. Now, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. That is by James Clear. Now, every dream we have, every mindset we want to have, every renewed mindset you want to have, every growth mindset you want to have, every breakthrough you have to work on, you have a limitation, you want to work on it. It starts with we working on our habits, intentionally working on our daily habits, because the truth is that our habits are the hidden architecture of your life. Your habit is the hidden architecture of your life. That is why for us to have a growth mindset, a renewed mindset, for us to work on ourselves, our vision, for us to achieve our goals, we must be intentional about our habits, because our habits are the hidden architecture of our life. Now, what is the meaning of habit of purpose? Now, habit of purpose are intentional, repeatable actions that are designed to align with your daily routine, that aligns your daily routine with your vision and mindset. So, as a parent, do you have those intentional routine that aligns with your goals, your vision? Do you have those actions that aligns with where you are going to? Do you have those things that align with your vision, your goals, those actions? What actions are you carrying out today? The actions you're putting in today, does it align? Is it leading to where you are going to? So as a parent, as an adult, we have to be intentional about our habits. Now, these habits that we create, the habits we do, or the actions we carry out on a daily basis, they reprogram our thoughts. So your habits, your actions you carry out on a daily basis reprogram your thoughts. It strengthens our emotional resilience, and it anchors our identity in who we are becoming. So the truth is that who you are becoming, the habits, your choices, your actions you're putting today has a way of impacting and influencing who you are becoming. So what are the things we can begin to do that can help us to have purposeful habits? What are those habits we can start to implement on a daily basis that can help us to have a growth mindset, that can help us to have a renewed mindset, that can help us to improve on our mission, on our mindset, on our vision? Number one, intentional morning routines. What are your morning routines like? Or do you wake up and you're off the bed, you've started your day, nothing, no routine? What are your morning routines like? We have to be intentional with our morning routine, because even Tim Ferriss says, win the morning and win the day. If you want to win your day, you have to win your morning. So you have to be purposeful with your morning. You have to establish mental clarity. When you wake up in the morning, establish mental clarity on what you want to achieve that day. You have to be grateful. Express your gratitude, because the truth is that when we are grateful, it keeps us going. When we are grateful, we don't complain of the things not working. Rather, we look at what is working and begin to use our strength while we focus, while we work on our weaknesses. When we are clear of our purpose, of what we want to do in the morning, it helps us to align, right from the onset. So that is why we must be clear. Our morning routines, we must be clear, we must be purposeful what we want to use our money for. For example, you could wake up in the morning, you could do some journaling, you could pray, you could have some silence, personal time, you could speak out your affirmation. There should be intentional actions, intentional habits we carry out in the morning. So what is that intentional action or intentional habit you have to start to implement that can help you to have a smooth day? So when you wake up in the morning, you must be purposeful on how you want your day to be. Then the second habit we can start to implement is daily affirmations. Now, a lot of people say that some people might say affirmations do not work, but the truth is that affirmations are not magic. Affirmations are mental conditioning. When you speak affirmation, you're reconditioning your mind. And that brings me to a book I'm writing, the 52 Weeks Affirmation for Parents. It's a book that is going to help you, to give you power back to yourself. It's a book that is going to help to reprogram, to recondition your mind, to tell you that there's power in affirmation. It's a book that is going to teach you on how to begin to declare over yourself. So watch out for that book. Join our community. I'm going to drop the link on how you can join in the comment section. Join our community and watch out for that book, the 52 Weeks Affirmation for Parents. Now, affirmations are mental conditioning. So do you affirm yourself in the morning? Do you affirm yourself with the emotions, with the convictions, or do you just wake up and anything goes? So we must be purposeful with our habits. And one of the habits we have to intentional practice is affirmations, because affirmation helps to condition our mind. They are mental conditioning for our mind. You must be able to work on your negative talk. So when those negative self-talk comes, what are you going to speak to counter those negative talk? So that is why you have to use empowering beliefs, empowering declarations, empowering affirmation to be able to work or to speak against those negative self-talk. For example, you can tell yourself, I am a present parent, I am a patient parent, I am growing, I am learning. You can tell yourself, each day I grow stronger in purpose and vision. You can tell yourself, I release guilt and I embrace my process. I release guilt and I embrace my journey. I release guilt and I embrace my journey. Those are one of the habits we can do that can start off our day and can help us to have a renewed mindset. Another habit we can start to implement as parents, as adults, is vision journaling. Now, there's this saying that the faintest ink is more powerful than the strongest memory. So are you carrying your vision in your memory? No. Get a paper and pen and journal. Don't journal in your head. Journal with paper and pen, because it is very important. The ink you use, even if it's faint, it is more powerful than the strongest of memory. That is why you find out that a lot of times we forget a lot of things because we don't take notes. We don't write. You're in a class, you've listened to the class, it's a wonderful class, but after you're done, you cannot really remember what you learned in the class, because the faintest of ink is greatest than the strongest memory. So you must learn to journal. You must learn to journal your thoughts. When you wake up in the morning or before you go to bed, what are your plans for the next day? Have you journaled your thoughts? Have you journaled what you want to do? Because when you journal, it helps you to be clear. It provides for you clarity on your purpose, clarity on what you want to do, clarity on what you want to achieve. So as parents, we must learn to journal our vision, our goals, our objectives weekly. And we must learn, when you journal, you're able to track your progress. You're able to track those challenges you encounter, and you're not able to implement or devise strategies on how to work on those limiting beliefs. So one of the habits we must implement to have renewed mindset, to have a growth mindset, is to journal our thoughts. Journal your thoughts on a pen and a paper. Pen and paper, not in your head. Then we can start to do some little habits here and there that can help us to have a growth mindset, or that can help us to have a renewed mindset. Now, one of the things we can start to do, you can start to work on yourself, your emotions. How do you react? And that brings me to the book I'm writing, the A to Z of Emotions, the ABC of Emotions. This book comes in different series. I've got the one for school, for toddlers, for preschool children, school age children, for teenagers, and for parents. Watch out for this book and start off your journey of emotional intelligence. So little habits here and there. For example, taking deep breath before you respond in an angry situation. For example, reframing your thoughts. When you feel you're frustrated, when you feel you're overwhelmed, when you feel you're tired, you can tell yourself, I am learning, I am growing. Just reframing your thoughts here and there, just intentionally working on your habits. When we start to do these things, it's going to help us to have a renewed mindset. Another thing we can do, one of the things we can start to do that can help us to have a renewed mindset, is to stay connected spiritually. Stay rooted to your source. What is your source? Are you still connected to your source, or have you been disconnected to your source? Are you still connected to your faith? Are you still connected to your vision? we must stay connected to our source, because the truth is that we have our source and we get our strength from our source. Are you recharging your spiritual strength on a daily basis, or are you working on an empty tank? We must learn to recharge our spiritual strength. We must learn to always reconnect with our source. So how do you begin your day? Do you begin your day with a prayer? Do you begin your day by reading the scripture? Do you begin your day by meditating? Do you begin your day by seeking God's help and God's direction and clarity and guidance? We must learn to always be connected to our source at every point in time, because it helps us to have a renewed mindset. Then we must remember, as parents, as adults, you will never change your life until you change something you do daily. So what is that thing you do daily? You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. What is that thing you do daily? You need to change for you to have a changed life. Now, discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. What you want now and what you want most. What do you want most? Is it important than what you want now? Discipline requires you make the right choice. Then the secret of our future is hidden in our daily routine. The secret of our future is hidden in our daily routine. So I encourage you to embrace intentional daily routines, daily actions that can help us to achieve our goals, our vision, that can help us to get to where we are going to. And it starts with our actions, the choices we are making today, the decisions, the choices you're making today. Does it align to where you're going to in the future? And that is where we're going to stop for today. Thank you for joining us. Yes, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Renewed Parent Academy. Join our community, The Renewed Parent Academy, where we'll share tools, daily connection tools on how we can work on our limitations, on our limited mindset. Get a copy of my book, Becoming a Renewed Parent. I'm going to drop the link where you can get it on Amazon. Continue to grow, because the truth is that at every point in time we have to grow. You don't get to a point and stop growing, because growth is continuous. Thank you for joining me today. Come your way next time to have a good day, and bye.